Hello, and welcome to another edition of Higher Wealth, Soaring Beyond the Now. We have a very exciting masterclass for you tonight. There we go, my special guest, Yvonne
Yes, hello.
Gamble. Very, very exciting topic tonight, financial credibility. But before we go there, I want to say my favorite scripture: the blessings of the Lord maketh rich, and he addeth no sorrow to it. I thank God for this opportunity to be with you guys again. God is good and good all the time. And that brings me to my next point, and that's to acknowledge the soaring, definitely beyond the now, of my dear friend Bernie Dorman. Yvonne, he was such a mentor
Yes.
to us.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
We would be together in Miami. We're going to miss him when we can go back there again on that yacht. Bernie,
Yes, we are.
he was just awesome, awesome, awesome. And such a loving and wonderful, wonderful person. So on, Bernie. So on.
Soar. Fly
Yes,
on, fly on.
yes, yes, yes. So tonight, Yvonne is going to be talking more about financial credibility. You know, we all want that finance, but she's going to make sure that we have credibility added to the finance that we receive it. And I want to talk a little bit about still getting some of those government loans that's out there and available with such a
Yep.
tiny interest rate. We're talking about what, 1% or 3%. You don't want to miss that opportunity. And I want to share with you how we can help you do that. So we're going to start off tonight with Yvonne telling us about financial credibility.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Lee. And yes, we're just going to jump right in and talk about 10 powerful ways that you can build your financial credibility. You and I were talking, just before we came on about, like you said, everyone wants to get the financing. But then when we look at the credibility, how credible you are, and credibility, I want to convey and help people to understand it goes beyond just simply your credit score, your credit rating. It goes far, far beyond that. Number one is being trustworthy. You have to build trust with your, obviously, your employees, trust with your partners, who you're going to partner and do business with. You have to build trust with your clientele. These things are not to be taken lightly, and these things are to be done over time. And it's you being consistent, you sticking to your word. All these things make a difference in your being trustworthy. People want to know they can trust you. They want to know they can trust in the company and want to be able to trust your decisions. Because as the leader of a company, you're going to be making decisions for that company. And it's not just going to be for you, but it's going to be more for the people in that company, the people that that company serves, all those, the people whose lives that company may touch. All those things, those trust factors are going to come into play. You've got to build trustworthy into your everyday activities. Number two, be competent. You must be competent. If we haven't learned anything else, if we have not garnered anything else from this COVID 19, and that is we've had to pivot. We've had to do things that we've never done before. We had to do them in ways we've never done before, and we've had to learn new skills. We should have been doing that, should be not when there's an emergency, not when you're pushed to the wall and your back is against it and you have nothing else to do. That should be a part of your every day. That should be a part of everything that you do, is how can I upgrade my skills? How can I bring on the next big? How can I integrate the next innovation into my processes, into my standard operating processes. That is the competency that you're going to have. When a financial institution, be it a bank, credit union, a private equity person, a commercial lender, is going to actually extend credit to you, they want to know how competent you are. How able are you to actually handle the money? How able are you to actually integrate that into what's new, what's going on? How are you able to pivot? How are you able to change what you currently have and do something else just in midstream without having, a stop, without having another influx? All that comes from competency. So you need to be building competency, and you have to invest in yourself. If you don't invest in your education, invest in yourself, invest in improving the company, improving the product, improving the services, then you're going to be left behind.
Mhm.
The next area, number three, is being consistent. You must be consistent in the service that you provide, in the service level that you can provide. When we go to our doctor, we expect a certain level of service. When we go there, we don't go there thinking, well, today I'm getting it's going to be a little bit less or not as good as it was yesterday, and that's okay. That's not okay. If you're going in or you go in for heart surgery, you expect that heart surgeon to be on top of his or her game, to be competent, to know what they are doing every single time they come into that operating room, not every other time they come in, not some of the time, not show up late, not don't show up at all, not show up with an attitude. No, you expect them to come in and to be consistent. And here's a tip on what can help a lot of people. Many of us take on too many tasks. We take on too many projects. We take on sometimes too many clients. That may mean that you may need to increase your costs so that you're not overwhelming your client base. And some of us have too few employees to do the jobs that we need to do. So if you're going to be consistent and provide a consistent service, then you're going to need to look at your entire operation and say, what do I need to do so that this operation is balanced? When they're bringing down a building, they bring down buildings with charges. They cannot set those charges off until those charges are balanced, because they want to bring that building down in a straight fashion, especially when there are other buildings around it, when there are people around it. They have to bring it down in a straight fashion so that when it comes down, it does not create an impact to the environment around it. Everything has to be in balance. That's the same way it is with your business, with what you're doing. Is it in balance, or are you too top heavy and you in one area don't have enough people to actually do the work that needs to be done in another area? Where are the holes, where are the gaps? Now is the time to figure all that out and to work through all those things. Those are the things that you're going to be evaluated on. This is when they're coming in and they're looking beyond just simply what your credit score is, or what your DMB report scoring is. They're going to look at the company and see, is it consistent in the way it offers service? Is it consistent in the way it treats its employee? Is it consistent in the way it speaks to its um its clientele, the way it onboards clientele? What are the inconsistencies? That's what they're going to be looked at. That's going to build your financial credibility. Then I want to talk about one that is probably a little tougher to do, and that's being genuine.
Mm.
Being genuine. So many people have literally taken the phrase to be their own. They're gonna fake it till they make it. No, no, that does not work. Not in the wealth building society. Not in a wealth building lifestyle. You can't fake anything. If you have to do less and have just a few clients and you serve those clients well, you do everything that is need to be done. You take your 10 clients and you serve them with everything that you have. Then you will become a genuine person, and then you can build your business to grow your business, but you will know what giving genuine service really means. And your people who you serve, your clients, your employees, they will always be able to say of you, I got genuine service out of this person. They were genuine with this. This company was genuine. They genuinely cared. Think about those companies and those people that you say that about. That will help put you on the road. Just think about some of the companies that you can say they genuinely care about their employees. They genuinely care about the service that they provide. They're not just providing good service to get more money to come in. They're providing this good service because they genuinely care. Think about that. All that is a part of your financial credibility, building that credibleness that says you deserve that financial standing that you're in. You deserve those financial dollars to be put into you, but only when you build that. This was going to be the last one before, I'm going to have Dr. Lee to come and talk to you about some of the different things, the extension that we've gotten with the stimulus package. But the last one I'm going to talk about before that, then I'll come back with the other five, and that is be sincere. Be sincere. The word sincere means without concrete. The reason why the word sincere was coined as a phrase that was used in sign was this was the time of transition. Just as we're in a time of transition right now. This was the time when they were transitioning from the use of marble in streets and making statues and having them inside of buildings, and they were going to concrete. Well, of course, marble is a much finer product, a much better product, and that was the product, of the kings, the queens, the wealth, and the wealthy. And so, therefore, if you could have something built with marble, then that was a similar status for you. And so, when someone was building something, what they would do, they would sign sincerely, meaning without concrete. So it did not have what they considered concrete at that time was a substandard substance in it. Be sincere, have a commitment, be dedicated to that. And again, if you have to pare down a number of people you serve in order to be sincere, to be genuine, to be competent, to show your competency, to be consistent in the service you provide, and to build that trust and be trustworthy to your employees, to your clientele, to the world at large, the community that you serve, then that's what you would necessarily need to do. So I'm going to stop it there. We're going to take a pause and we're going to turn it back over to Dr. Lee and let her give us some information on this new stimulus. And hopefully, this is good information that she's not going to tell us that they cut it off. And I hope she's going to tell us that it's going to keep going.
It's going to keep going. And that's awesome. And I'm so glad that you and I decided to partner on this 6-week master class on finances, on building wealth. And one of the first things we know we have to do is build up the mindset of the people that's listening to us. And I'm struck by one of my clients, wannabe clients, called us last night. Oh, I didn't get in on the money. How did I? I said, you late to the table. No, no, no. How do I get it? Help me to get. I said, well, first off, why in the world you not call me before now? You know what he said? Oh well, I thought it was just a hoax or something. I did not think we were actually going. They were actually going to give people a loan. I said, not only did they give people a loan, they gave many a grant.
Hmm.
A grant, you don't even have to pay it back. And that went all the way up to 10 employees. 10 employees. So you got $10,000 for a grant of money that you did not even have to pay back. A lot of people missed it. They did not believe it. So they did not act on it. You've got, we can pour out this information, but if you don't act on it,
Right.
it does no good.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of people did not act on it. So the grant, they have stopped. That's the giving it away, you don't pay back. They've stopped that. However, they still have the loan open, so you can still get a loan. And they call it the EIDL loan. You can still get that. And we're here to help you do that. And also, there was a PPP loan, Paycheck Protection Program, and that is a loan that you would pay back 1%. That's like $20, $30 a month. And that is still available. And so is the EIDL. And reach out to me, Women of Wealth Magazine at gmail.com. Let me know that you're interested. And we're so serious about this masterclass. We're building an ebook on the topics that we're talking about. But again, those loans are out there. Do not be like my associate that came to the table too late.
Yeah.
We have to develop a mindset that I'm going to do all of these things that Yvonne Gamble is talking about tonight. I want to get my credit repair done. That's important. Some people see the this coronavirus. On one end, it's a real bad situation, but it's here. We didn't cause it. We didn't make it. It's here now. So how can you make something good out of this bad situation? And so we looked around, we talked, and we one thing we wanted to do was help others.
Uh-huh.
And I tell you,
Yeah.
to have wealth, you need two things. You need your health and you need finance.
Uh-huh.
That's just it. And so we're putting this ebook together for you. We're putting the master classes together for you. We're putting the coaching together. So stick with us. We're going to be here every Thursday. But if I were you, I would not do like my associate did, late to the table. You need to contact me now while the money is still there. In fact, I think it all shuts down August the 8th, thereabout.
Uh-huh.
That's it. If you don't get in on this go round, blame yourself when you had an opportunity to give yourself a leg up thanks to the government.
Uh-huh.
And now we're waiting. Not only are we waiting on those two loans, we're waiting on that second stimulus check. That's coming
Yes.
too. So you need to listen to these classes and learn about how to govern yourself accordingly in dealing with finances because it's here and you just need someone to coach you through it, how to get there. Now I'm turning it back over to Yvonne Gamma.
Okay. Well, thank you. And that was a perfect segue because the next one up now is to be respectful.
See?
And that's the very next thing on building your financial credibility is to be respectful. Not what you expect, but what the clients deserve.
Mm.
See,
Yeah.
what we expected, what the reason why your associate and so many others are late to the table is because they didn't expect. They
Mm.
expected the government not to be able to give. And so they
Exactly.
felt they weren't deserving enough. So they didn't come forward. A lot of times when we don't come forward and we don't take action, it is simply because we don't feel we deserve it.
There you
Even
go.
if even if it is going to be, we don't feel we deserve it. Somewhere deep down inside, something has happened, and we have to be able to rise above that and be respectful. That if someone says, I will help you or I can help you, let them help you. You deserve to be helped. Let them help you. And therefore, what happens is so many times there are coaching and coaches, just as Dr. Lee has said. She does coaching for you on these different types of things. Take advantage of those types. Take advantage of
Yeah.
that if someone is there to help you. There's no one size fits all, and there's no simply you have to do it yourself or that you can do it all by yourself. No, if you're going to be in business, if you're going to be in life, you're not alone and you can never be alone and you will never succeed alone. The next thing is to be accountable. Own
Mm.
up to your shortfalls. You got to own up to your shortfalls. If you need to get your credit in order, you need to get that repaired. There's so many credit repair places
Yeah.
out here. There's so many people. There's just tons that are out here. You stumble over them. There's so many people that can help you with that. If you need to shore up your business, there are things, processes not going on in your business or things not done. Get those things in order. Be accountable. You don't have no. Nobody's expecting that you're going to, just because you have a business, you're going to have done everything perfectly. That everything's always going to work. There's never going to be a day of rain. It's going to be sunshine. Nobody expects that. That's ridiculous. So do not put yourself up under that type of thought process. You got to get to right thinking. Be accountable for your actions. If there's something that needs to be fixed, fix it, because generally it's not as bad as you really think it is. It's really not. So get your credit in order. Get those things done. Get to those people again who can help you, coach you through it, work you through it, hold your hand while you're doing it. Those different program and processes are out there. Number 8, you must be loyal. Loyalty is a imperative, meaning that that's not something that there's an exception to. There's no exception to being loyal. You must be loyal. You must work to serve and to protect others.
Mm.
Meaning, in your business, what you do in your business, it has to be able to show how it serves others, how it protects others, how it actually makes a difference in the community, in society. If you look at a company right today, like 3M, 3M is known for what? What is it mainly known for? Making those little 3M sticky notepads.
Yeah.
That's what we know them for. But guess what? Guess who bubbles up to the top that makes the most sought after mask, and the mask that has set the standard not only in the United States but for the world? 3M. They're
Wow.
the ones. They are the ones. And so, therefore, they are the go to for the world for their mask. And everybody wants to know when they buy, is this, if it's not from 3M, is it as good as 3M's product? Is it done with the care that 3M put into it? Everybody wants to know that. Because why? Loyalty.
Yeah.
Loyalty to the fact they were loyal to their customers. They were loyal to the science that went behind their development. They were loyal to their employees. And they were not going to put a product out until they got it right. And they got it, they did so much so that now the world trusts them and relies on them. But they had to put the loyalty in first. There was a corporation, many people may or may not remember it, but Zenith. And
Mm.
what I remember about Zenith was this: they were an excellent television manufacturer, and
Mm-hmm.
the one thing they had, their model was the quality goes in before the name goes on. So
Mm.
they would not even allow their name to be put on their product until it had gone through 10 quality checks. That's why you could buy a Zenith TV and have it for 25 years. The
Yes.
quality goes in before the name goes on. Can you say the same about your product? Think about that. Take that nugget with you tonight. Can the same thing be said about my product or the service that I provide? There's its quality is there before I put my name on that product. That's loyalty, brand loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9, be honest. Make it a habit. Make it a habit of being honest. Develop a reputation for speaking candidly and honestly. That's why, if you will notice, people of wealth and people who are in wealth positions, you listen to the things that they say. They don't talk a whole lot, they say a few words, but what they do say are things that are generally quoted. They are the most quoted because they have developed a habit of being honest.
Mhm. Mhm.
So that whatever they think about what they're going to say, they don't have something to say about everything. They don't have something to say about everyone. They do not voice their opinion just to hear themselves talk. When they speak with honesty, integrity, and candidly and deliberately. Just like you see the book, Living on Purpose, they speak on purpose and with purpose. Financial credibility. When you are asked questions, when you are in, you're going to go before someone. Someone's either going to ask you to write a question with what Dr. Lee is saying to get these different loans or what have you, or they're going to ask you a question. You need to. We don't need dissertations. If they ask you the question, answer the question. Answer, prepare yourself ahead of time. Work with somebody. Work back and forth and say, well, hey, you know what? I know they're going to be asking me these kinds of questions about my company, my employees, how I do my business, all these things. They gave you an application, so they're going anything that's on that application would be something that they chances are they're going to ask you a question about. Answer every single question. Speak it out candidly, honestly, openly. This is how you become financially credible. It's a habit. Build your reputation with a habit of doing these things consistently. And number 10, this is perhaps my best one, and that is be principled.
Mm.
Be principled. You must have principles in how you do things. Do not, number one, do not compare yourself to others. You are uniquely you. You become the best you that you can be. Your company becomes the best company that it can be. Examples that I have given you, 3M did not compare themselves to other companies when they were creating the mask and how they were going to put it together. 3M, on the other hand, what they did was they looked at what they did. They looked at their processes and they said, what can we do to make ourselves better? Number two, stand for the values that you believe in. Stand for the values that you believe in. Do not be wavering. Do not be middle of the road. Do not be, oh, well, yeah, you can have it this way, or oh, well, you can have it that way. When you set a standard for yourself or for how you're going to operate, stick to that. Don't change it just because you're trying to satisfy a dollar or a dime that you may need or what have you. Or you're trying to make a little bit more money or you're trying to give a discount just to try to get some business in. That will always come back to bite you. And I'm sure that everyone within the sound of my voice has done that before and has had that happen to them. If you have your set price, set it, stick to it. That's your, because why? You have value in that. You know the cost of doing your business. You know the cost of your service. You know the value of your service. Don't underestimate yourself. Overestimate so that people will have that overestimating quality about you. Be consistent in what you do. Be honest. Be loyal in how you do your products. Be accountable. Own up to any shortfalls that you have. Be respectful. Not what you expect, but what your clients deserve. And here is my last and final that I will say to you on for this series that we have on financial credibility, and that is strive to be better today than you were yesterday, and even greater tomorrow than you are today. That's what I want to leave you with. Thank
As you were talking, Yvonne, that was so awesome. What I'm also thinking, what I want to add to that is developing a strong banking relationship. You know, go and interview different banks, credit unions, and see. And it's not too late to get started now. And
you.
once you get into that relationship, don't leave it. Stay there. Oh, year after year until you become a household name to them.
Right.
Your brand, a household name, so that when something comes down the pipeline, they're gonna pick up the phone and call you.
That's right.
Hey, you don't want to miss it out on this. Our bank is doing this. And then it comes back to what you were talking about, that trust. You're trustworthy now. They know you
Hmm.
personally. So that's one thing we want to encourage our clients, our
Right.
potential clients. It's not too late to do it. Go open you an account, get started with the bank, a neighborhood bank,
Hmm.
and get to know them and let them get to know you,
Right.
and sit and wait, developing, and they will watch you, and
Yeah.
thereby developing more credibility, financial credibility now.
Hmm.
They're watching your accounts, and you may have accounts, you may need to mess up sometime. Let's put it like that. Have a bank that you're going to mess up at, but there's this one bank where you're going to develop that relationship with. No, 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 no. You
That's
you
right. Have
don't
that
mess up
perfect.
there. You do not mess up there. So you need different banks for different reasons. So not just one, but develop that banking relationship. And again, I encourage you to contact us and talk to me. You know, my middle name, they call me the connector. If it's one thing about me, slash Women of Wealth magazine, we know how to connect people to people. And that's how I got connected with my banking institution. I made a call to someone that I needed to connect to, and then they connect me to one of my community representatives, Marcia Rittler. You know her,
Oh yeah.
and it went on from there. So, hi, Marcia. I see you.
Hi, Marcia.
And she is such a community person. I mean, she helps anybody and everybody. And so she said, okay, Dr. Lee, let's get you going. And she did. And things that I've learned through this whole process, a lot of it came from Marcia. After in the community, but this, Yvonne, as you know, you and I, we're all about helping our community.
Hmm.
That's what we want to do, help our community. So if you're late to the table, you don't come, you don't call us, we can't help you. And I tell you, I won't say the name of the person, but she just got $90,000. I said, what? Yes. She said,
Oh
well,
yeah.
I went for it. Some of them getting hundreds of thousands of
Yeah.
dollars.
Oh yeah. Yeah. If you don't, that's why what you do is I'm not gonna say if I want to go to the moon, I shoot for the sun.
There you
And I
go.
know I'm gonna get to the moon. There's no question. You always gotta shoot way beyond where you want to go. That's what we have to get in the habit of doing. We have to get in the habit of building our dreams, building, our goals, our wishes, our desires so far ahead of where we are and stop trying to determine what we that they can't be done. We got
Yes.
to you've got to put it so far out that it's somebody, it's so the idea is so outlandish, somebody's gonna help you do it.
Yes, exactly. And like I was telling you, I'm so glad she's on tonight. Our friend Marcia, she jumped right in there to
Yeah,
help me solve.
yes
And,
you
and,
did.
and you've got to be able to admit to someone that you need help. Reach
Right.
out.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't know, perhaps they know who to turn you on to that does
Who
know.
does know? Yeah.
You've got to be willing to admit that I don't have the answer. It's
Mm-hmm.
all about going back to that financial credibility.
That's right.
You got to
And
recognize who you are, what you don't know. How can you find someone that does know? Credibility.
there you go. You build that, and that's why when that at the end, after we've gone through these 6 weeks and we put that ebook out, you will have access to all of the information that we have talked about. This is going to be a huge, huge higher wealth book. This is the true book, what you're going to get about building wealth. It's not
Hmm.
just simply, the accumulation of the dollars and cents in my bank account. You have to be able to, what you're saying, that trustworthiness. You've got to have that
Yes,
trustworthiness, and you go into that banker, you built that relationship, and if
yes,
you get behind or what have you, you can pick up that phone, you go to that bank and you can say, hey, I have things are coming in, it's not in yet. They will tell you, don't worry about it. We have you covered.
that's right. You built
Because
that.
why? They know you. They
Mm-hmm.
know you and they know what you're going to do and how you do your business and how you run
Built
your
that
business.
relationship.
You
Built
have
that relationship.
relationships.
That is so
Wealth is
important.
exactly. Wealth is all about relationships.
And another thing, um, we want to teach people how to stop using their personal credit
Yes.
so that you just need to be able to learn how to use business credit. You don't have to
That's
use your
another
personal
and
credit.
that's another
Another
class.
topic, and we're going to get
Yeah,
on
that's
that class next week.
yeah. That's
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 going to be a big, important
yeah. Yeah.
one.
Yeah. That's
Building
another
that
class.
business credit.
Right. What we have to do first is, I know everyone wants to jump right in with how do I make money, how do I build my credit and that sort of thing. But we have to first change your
Yes,
mindset. We've
yes,
got to get you in. If you're not in the right frame of mind, I can tell you everything there is to know about how to clean up your credit. It's not going to make a difference. You're going to try to shortcut. You're going to try to circumvent. I see it every day. I see it every single day. So what I really would say is this: change your mindset first. Understand not just what to do, but understand why you have
exactly.
to do these things. Just as Dr. Lee is saying, people who didn't come to the table, and now this is about the eighth. What we talk about 2.5 weeks, and
Yeah,
it's over. It's done, and it's been here since March. And
yes,
so, so now if you're sitting here saying, well, oh, I didn't believe it. Well, even if you didn't believe, you still could have applied. If it wasn't true, it was no harm, no foul.
that's it.
All you
But
would have done was that would have been just ink on a piece of paper.
they didn't see the value in
You
themselves.
know?
They did not see the value in
Okay.
them. Oh, I've been turned down 100 times. Uh, okay, this is going to be the 101st time because I'm going to give it a shot.
Exactly. I
Bible
mean,
says, be persistent.
you have to. You have to. Because if you didn't have persistence in doing things, we wouldn't have lights. We wouldn't
Mm-mm,
have telephone. We would
mm,
have nothing. What we're doing right now, we would have absolutely none of this. Because why? People who are technologists, we're gonna keep doing things until it works. Not until we get
exactly.
it right, but we're gonna keep doing it until it works, and then we're gonna take that and make it work better. That's just
Exactly.
we don't have any other, we have nothing else to do with ourselves, but run ourselves in the ground trying to make this stuff work. But that's just how it is, and that's the same way you have to be. You got to keep going. You got to keep doing it. So, Dr. Lee, with that, are there any other parting words that you want to say?
No, I just want to again thank our friend Marcia for coming on and listening to it, and the other ones that didn't say anything. Thank you for coming on, and we're just going to make lemonade out of this situation that we're in. We can do this, and we can do it together. and come out ahead. We want to elevate ourselves, get ourselves elevated so that we can soar beyond the now. Now is where we are. We shouldn't be here when we wake up and realize, oh, I can come out of my doors without a mask. Hey, hallelujah. It's coming. Believe it. It is coming. But you do not want to be where you are when
Right.
that happens. Soar is what we're doing. Thank you. Look for us again next Thursday. We're going to get this masterclass done so that you can get your ebook. Love you. Be safe. God loves you.
Thank you.